think in the earlier years when Singapore started our economic journey, we are starting from a lower base. Growth is easier to achieve. Now that we are relatively mature, growth is already hard to achieve. Plus the challenging external environment, I think it will become even more difficult. At the same time, the second issue is that we can no longer assume that growth will automatically generate jobs. With automation, with AI, and with productivity, and as all of us hope to achieve, is to have higher value-add industries, business activities. That means with higher value-add per worker, you may not need as many workers. So I think job creation will be another challenge. So these twin challenges is what we are facing today. First, we need to continue to grow our economy under this very challenging global environment. Secondly, we need to make sure that our economy create new jobs, create good jobs, so that Singaporeans can continue to be gainfully employed, continue to see growth and prospects and opportunities in this new economic journey. So I think these two twin challenges is something that we are confronted with, and we need to be quite deliberate in our policies, in our strategies, economic strategy, to focus on these two twin objectives to make sure that both of them can be achieved. This is something that we have set up these 6 committees to look into. At the same time, we are also thinking about how we can continue to achieve our medium to long-term growth of between 2 to 3%. In order for us to achieve that, we will need to look at the several strategies that we will have to, the key thrust that we have to look at. The first is on building on our existing strength. One of the key strengths is we are a business hub, and we are not just an ordinary business hub. We are a business hub that's built on trust. And with this global volatility and uncertainty, many businesses are looking for places which will offer them certainty, predictability, consistency. So I think Singapore has demonstrated that despite these changes, we have been principled, and our policies are clear and consistent, and our practices and our support for businesses are also consistent. So I think this is something that is a main competitive advantage for Singapore, and we combine this together with a hub status. I think this is going to be our strength. The second part is on enterprise development. We do want to grow enterprises. Singapore has been a very attractive place to bring in global MNCs to invest in Singapore. And I just announced the groundbreaking of a major MNC a couple of days ago. And this shows that Singapore continues to be an attractive place for these MNCs to operate in. But this is important because these MNCs create a lot of jobs for us. I also mentioned that the investment will create, I announced a couple of days ago, will create 1,600 jobs over time. So these are important job creators. So we want to continue to anchor them here and to help them to grow in Singapore. At the same time, we also are now mindful that actually they are promising companies, emerging companies around the world, not quite MNC yet, but they have great potential to become MNC one day. So these are the companies you also want to go after, attract them to come to Singapore. If they are able to anchor themselves in Singapore and grow into MNCs over time, then we can grow together with them as an economy. And jobs will be created as they grow into an MNC status. The last part is a very important one, and that is on labor, on our workforce, on our human capital. And we need to continue to invest in our human capital. I think there's anxiety about this transition, this change. How is it going to affect our workforce? I think there will be an impact, whether it's AI, whether it's geopolitics, whether it's competition. I think it will cause our industry to change, our business, our economy to transform, to restructure. This is part and parcel of our economic development journey. But what is important is to make sure that in this journey, we don't leave out our workers. The way to help them to adapt to this new environment is through skills upgrading and education. And we will double down on our efforts in providing them, supporting them in their upgrading journey so that they will be AI ready, they will be job ready, and they will be future ready.